Hey everyone, welcome to Mom Talks. I am Laura. I am back to visit with you guys. We're going to kick off our summer series because it is hot outside already in St. Louis. And what more appropriate than to talk about water safety. So I'm here with Allison today, a nurse practitioner at our after hours location. And we are going to talk about all the different kinds of devices you're going to want at the pool. Another great resource, if you're not a subscriber yet, Kids Today, visit stlouischildrenshospital.org. You can sign up for our monthly newsletter. And this month, we actually have a really great article about water safety and preventative tips. But for those of you who don't have this yet, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, and with it just coming off of Memorial Day, we were at a pool, we were at a lake. We almost tried to go to every body of water we could this past weekend.
It was warm.
So I think what would be helpful is kind of talking through just the different types of bodies of water or how we should even have these conversations with our kids.
Yeah.
So where do we start?
Maybe we should start with what we should not do.
Okay, we like that.
Because we've got all these props here, so we talk about this. So I think we'll start with the inflatable floaties. So
I have these.
I know, like,
just throwing it out there.
This is all we had, I feel like.
Yeah,
but
this was the option. And they were itchy and like stabby.
Please don't make me wear these again. So these are not approved. These are not life-saving devices. You'll read that all over the package when you pick them up. And truthfully, we don't recommend them because they're like we said, they're easy to fall off. They can become deflated easily, and they kind of give kids a false sense of security. So they're going to the deep end. They're really not protected with these on, and so there's better options. So better options.
You can just kind of see a kiddo. You know, you think their arms are up, but if their faces are going down, that's
right,
not
like they may
keeping
just
them
be
up
here. Sure, and so we're not. The chest is not being lifted. The head's not being lifted. And so if these, you may see at the pool, but this would be a better option for the pool. Okay, so this is a puddle jumper.
Keep those
I
didn't happen.
So these were they're Coast Guard approved, and you'll find this information here. So
I like that it's all printed on here.
Yeah,
I throw away tags and packaging because why wouldn't you? So I love that it's all printed on here, and you can reference any of these things in your house right now.
Definitely. You can reference it at your house when you're at the store and you're in the aisle and there's so many things. You can easily flip. There's so many. You can easily flip it around and read who is this for by, infant, child, and what size, like how much weight can they have.
Okay, so that's what all these are based on is your child's weight, not necessarily their age. Or should we be looking at that too?
I think that when we're talking about true life jackets, these are going to be weight-based.
Okay.
So they're going to say infant under this many pounds, under this many kilograms. Now the puddle jumpers tend to be more like just for children, child sizes. So we're not seeing we don't really want our infants in these as much. And so you'll see child, you may not see a weight, but you want it to have a Coast Guard approval. And so U.S. Coast Guard approved, and they'll have the number and the style, and so that's really what we're looking for with these. Now these are really good for calm inland water. Pools, pools specifically, I would say. When we're talking about boating, we're talking about the ocean, we're talking about waters that are unpredictable or deep, like we talked about. I say, just put the life jacket on.
Can't see your feet.
Can't see your feet.
Can't see the bottom.
A little bit worried. You're on a watercraft, life jacket for everyone. And so, like I had just mentioned, these are going to be inside here. This one's for infants. The infant one should have a hood on it, or a pillow on it to support their head. And that this is an infant less than 30 pounds. Okay. And so we have the Coast Guard approval, like we were talking about. And so similarly, this would be for a child, 30 to 50 pounds.
Okay.
So I think that's a really easy, a helpful way to.
Do these kind of devices, do they expire? It kind of reminds me of a car seat. Like when we talk about car seats, like certain weights, and you want them rear facing, you want them doing it. Car seats expire.
So
do these kind of things expire?
So some of it has to do with the care of these, right? So we're talking about being in the water, we're talking about being out in the sun.
Yeah.
So if you are looking at your life jacket,
these are obviously brand new and bright and shiny.
But this stayed on the boat 2 summers in a row in direct sunlight. It's rotting. You can feel in here, and this is broken to pieces.
Okay.
these are starting to fray.
Yeah.
Get a new one, okay?
I should know too, these were $10. I just bought these today.
Yeah,
so very cheap preventative
We're talking
care.
about inexpensive life-saving devices here. So, and for the children, we want to make sure this strap still works and that it's buckled.
Okay.
And when we're putting these on, specifically, I like to strap them in and kind of grab them by the shoulders and make sure they're not falling through. Yeah. So if you are, you know,
we've all seen those kids like swimming like
that's
this.
that's too big. If you can,
too big.
if you can pull them up by the shoulders and they slide down here, we're thinking about the water. If that truly does happen to them, if they're down here, that's not helpful.
Right.
So that's kind of how we're going off the side.
Again, it's all to keep them up.
Exactly. As head above the water.
I think we've got a question.
How can I make sure kids are practicing water safety at a friend's house without being overprotective?
Ooh, that's such a good question.
Can you be overprotective?
I don't know. I don't know if we're
water?
talking about water if we could be overprotective.
That's a great question.
Because we're talking about something that does happen. So I think a couple of things to follow as you're talking to the parents. Is someone going to be outside the whole time who's undistracted, not drinking alcohol, very focused on the water, so that person is only looking at the water. And so you're asking those parents those things, that we're never leaving kids in the care of another child in the pool. So we're not sending two of our little ones outside together thinking that would be safe enough. That's not safe enough. We want a parent present and undistracted, watching the pool as their only thing that they're doing. And so I think that really having that conversation with parents, like, hey, I'm worried. There's a lot of worry around this topic. We're talking about it a lot. Can we just talk about what it looks like to be at the pool?
I think
at your house.
And I think having that conversation with your kiddo too about, hey, we do not go down there by ourselves. We do not do this. And I think it's also you knowing your kid, just thinking through my experiences, like Connor's not the strongest swimmer. So at a pool party like that, I would want to tell the other parent, or I'd be like, okay, so I'm staying. Just because I would not want to put that on somebody else.
Exactly. And so I think that's important too. And a lifeguard, although that's a good layer of protection, a really good layer of protection, we still really want the parent or caregiver there as another layer of protection, because lifeguards have a lot of kids that they're watching. And although they're adding protection to the party, they are not enough. When we're talking about little swimmers, swimmers that maybe aren't swimmers yet. Not quite swimmers. And just like you would talk about the street or the stove, I think it's a conversation that happens early. Like, this is dangerous. Like, we do not get anywhere near the road without mommy. We don't get anywhere near the pool without mommy, or anywhere near the water without mommy or daddy there. And so that's a rule that we know. Toddlers are curious. There's still those occasions. And
it happens fast.
It happens quickly, and I think it's important to remember that a lot of the drowning, more than half of the drownings, especially in that age, are happening when no one's swimming. So they weren't supposed to be at the pool. So maybe ask the parents, how is your pool protected? Like, when you guys go back inside for lunch,
is
there a gate? Is there a lock? Like, what does the pool look like at your house? And can we make sure that those safety measures are in place?
I think those are all fair things to ask of another family.
I
don't think that's pushing it or making you the crazy one.
No.
I think it's a totally fair thing.
Definitely.
One question I noticed, I think our life jackets that we have zippers. Is there a pro, a con? Should we look for zippers? Should we not have zippers? Is it just one more thing? It's not a big deal.
So I think it's still going back to fit. So as long as it's Coast
Keeps
Guard,
it nice and snug.
as long as it's Coast Guard approved and keeps it nice and snug, and where is that zipper working properly? A lot of times you will see with the little ones the zipper for easy on, but then a couple buckles,
and then buckles
too, which I would say you'd prefer that. Okay. And we're not attaching these to the boat. We're just wiping them down to clean them, and really taking care of these, knowing that this is another layer of protection for
That makes
kids.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Keep the questions coming if you've got them. And we got another one.
So, the question says, my 8-year-old is very afraid of the water. Should we still pursue swim lessons for safety?
Oh,
That's a really good question. Really good
because
question.
you don't want to scare them.
No, but they need to know.
They need to know.
Okay.
At least get to the edge. Like, that was always our thing. Like, at least be able to get yourself to the edge of the pool.
So swim lessons, in that early years, so about 1 to 4, there's some research out there that could be a good layer of protection in those toddler ages doing swim lessons. But after 4, we're really, really encouraging that kids know how to swim. And if that is just, that could be just basic water skills, so
Yeah.
survival skills.
Yeah.
And so when you're pursuing swim lessons, I think it's important to ask the class and ask the program, hey, are you guys going to be teaching water survival skills? And that those basic safety steps are enough.
Yeah.
And really, it's age, it's maturity level for your kids. You know your kids the best, and so going off of them, but really knowing that that is like a huge layer of protection for that age, that they know how to swim. And so it may be something that you're asking the teachers, hey, I'm worried about the water. Can I hop in first?
Right.
Can I attend the first class? What's the best way for us to get acclimated? And sometimes it's just a couple really good swim lessons is enough to really build their confidence in
Down that fear a little bit, maybe.
and starting those like basic swimming skills.
Oh, that would be so hard. It's too hot for that.
I know.
It's too hot to be scared of the water.
I know. But it's a true,
But it's very scary, and it can be very intimidating. I mean, my mom doesn't like the ocean, and so, it's very easy to become afraid of this kind of thing.
Definitely. So they don't have to swim all the time after they get some lessons. It's something that we just want them to know kind of as a layer of protection.
Yeah.
We want them to know kind of basic.
Yeah, and wearing the right kind of
skills.
protection that they know they're supposed to wear these kind of things.
Yeah.
Super helpful.
Yeah, that was good.
Let's think what else. So, say accidents happen.
Okay.
As much as we have the talks, as much as we love all of our floaties, drowning experience type situation happens. What do we do?
So if we are having a good day at the pool, we have one of our kids that's needing help.
Yep.
We see them under the water. It's a pretty silent thing. I think it's important to always encourage parents that it is not like, help me.
help me,
It is
help me.
usually a pretty silent experience. If we are having to physically get them out of the pool, there's a drowning occurring.
Yeah.
And then they need help post that. So they need help resuscitating, they need help with catching their breath, they are showing signs of distress, which is a lot of coughing and pulling the ribcage a lot of times. That you are really calling 911 or having a charged cell phone near. If there is a drowning that happens. I think there's a lot of concerns that a drowning won't occur and then something will happen later. But in most of these instances, a true drowning has occurred. Can be non-fatal, fatal. But either way, a drowning has occurred and that patient needs to be monitored.
911, go to the nearest emergency room.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good time to also mention, we are at the St. Louis Children's Hospital after hours on Tucson Ferry. Would you come to after hours if there was a potential drowning experience situation?
As a hard and fast rule, probably not.
No.
If there's a true drowning that occurred, you are worried about respiratory distress, please go to the emergency room. They're adequately trained. If you have fears and you want to talk to someone, that might be a good resource.
After hours is good for, let's go through the list.
Okay, yeah. Strains, broken extremities, arms and legs, minor coughs, colds, seasonal allergies. What else do we do? Streps.
Little stitches.
We do glue.
Okay.
We've employed that quite a bit here as a summer
Got
occurs. So small cuts we can clean out some stuff.
Remind me of your hours too.
So on the weekdays we're open from 5 to 11. Take patients up to 11 o'clock p.m. So after your pediatrician closes, we open our doors and take those after hours things that can happen. And then on the weekends we're open from noon to 11. So Saturday and Sunday all day we're here. After the pediatrician's office is closed on Saturday, that we're open and we're available.
Welcome to
ear
summer.
infections, rashes. We're here and we'd be happy to take care of you guys.
Am I missing anything? Any last minute questions?
Anyone else? I don't think so. I think just realizing that when we're talking about drowning, we're talking about layers of protection. So we cannot drown proof our kids
Yep.
Even though we want to, this is not drown proof. Swimming lessons don't drown
Start
proof.
start with the conversation.
We start with conversations, then we put barriers up between them and water. We get them swim lessons when they're old enough and mature enough. We put on the life jackets for our non-swimmers, and then we're watching the water at all times.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. The other day I bought a little pool for my toddlers, and it came with a tag that said designated water watcher with like a lanyard.
Wow.
Like a put on.
Like
and I am the designated, please don't talk to me. I'm the designated water watcher.
That's kind of an interesting.
And then you pass it on.
Like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You're
in 15
in charge
minutes.
of the tiny humans.
You're gonna be the water watcher, and I'm not doing anything else. I'm watching the water, but it's cute, and it's a good idea. Hey, we're gonna I'm not gonna question who's watching the water.
We use memory devices in our cars to make sure we're not having hot car incidents like that. If that's what you need, if that's the kind of group you're with, do it. It's not gonna hurt anybody.
Do what you need to do, and so adding all of those layers together is the best way to keep our kids safe around water, because water is enjoyable and so good for kids.
It should be a fun day. Fun day at the pool, fun day at the lake, fun day at the ocean.
Good exercise,
lots of
but
options.
all of those layers together.
Under proper supervision. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to be back next week, Friday at 11, to talk about summer movies and television violence, how we can help our kids, how we can monitor these kind of things, and the impacts that they can have on them. So look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for joining us. Go enjoy the